N4HNH here. That is a CW soda station out in Washington State. And the reason I'm shooting this video is one of my Patreons, Chuck. Thank you, Chuck, for the request. He asked if I would do a shootout between the 7300, the 891, and the FTdx5000. So I've got this soda station here on 30 meters. Listen. So appreciate Chuck. He's a Patreon, and those of you who are Patreons, you really mean a lot to the channel. You guys help keep us going here, and anyone else who would like to help out through Patreon, you can go to www.patreon.com/N4HNH, and every little bit helps, really does. And also too, please subscribe to the channel. That helps as well to keep us going. So back to the 7300. $891 and the 5000. Now you're going to notice with the 5000 a lower noise floor. It just has a lower noise floor. When I walked into HRO to buy a new base station, I wasn't looking at this. I was looking at a Big Bad Kenwood, but I thought, well, I'll give that one a try, and actually wound up trying everything in the store, and it wound up being something that I did for about 3 hours at a time over a period of 8 months. And so HRO well, they were super happy when I finally decided on the radio. Well, what happened on the first day was I was listening to a CW station. I intentionally picked a weak one. Well, let me clarify that. He wasn't terribly weak. He was S7, but there was a S6 noise level. So I went over to the other radio, to this radio, and I saw an S1 noise level, and I thought, well, maybe attenuation's on, maybe the IPO was on. Nope, they weren't. I said, well, this radio just can't hear. And then the guy came back in, and he was S7 again. So I was just really shocked by the low noise floor on this 5000. All right, let's get back over to 7300. I've got the gain structures and filtering set about equal on all of them, as close as I can get to equal. I do have noise reduction, long press here. Noise reduction's on 9 with the 7300. And I've got noise reduction on 10. We'll put it on 9 on the 891. Filter width 50. And noise reduction I've also put on 9 here on the 5000. I'll sometimes run it at 15. It really depends. See, the key is in here. Your preamplifiers. If you're getting a lot of that filter ring, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go to amp 2 on the 5000. Hear that? I'm just driving so much signal across that really tight filter, and it creates what's called ripple, a ringing. Well, you just cut the gain. Only use enough gain to be able to hear them, and then let the DSP do the rest. Okay, and I've covered that in many of the previous videos, so we won't go into that anymore. But if you saw the previous video, I've also got some audio tapering I've done in all 3 of these rigs, so that even the audio circuit is. Oh, switch back over to 7300. So that even the audio circuit is helping narrow the band pass. I'll let him come back on the 7300, and then I'll switch around again. Thank you for the request, Chuck. Oh, and Chuck, I found an antenna switch. I don't know if you'll be able to see it now. It's a 3-position switch, again, left over from the days when I was a teenager working on radios at a CB radio shop. So that's how I was able to do this. I knew I had a 3-position switch somewhere. I just had to go find it. That's why we have junk drawers, right? Come on, I hope he's not done. Well, if he is, at least you got to see the round there of the 3. The 5000's noise reduction is just unbelievable to me. It never has that swimmy, watery sound. And I'll show you. Let me switch back over to the 5000 and turn off the digital noise reduction. So the digital noise reduction helps get rid of some of that filter ripple. And like I say, I'll adjust it according to what my gain is over here, you know. So if I'm on amp 2, then I may run that wide open and then use my manual notch filter like I showed in a previous video to help knock down some of that filter ring. And you know, the filter's got two skirts, so it'd be nice if we had dual notch filters. Yaesu, ICOM, Kenwood, dual manual notch filters. You can take care of this by just not running so much gain into the filter, only enough to hear what you're listening for. And there we go. So yeah, and I was using a 50 hertz width filter, filter 3 up here on the 7300. There you can see the parameters. Focus that. All right, so hopefully, Chuck, that gave you what you wanted to hear. I mean, these little guys don't do too bad. I mean, that's a $1,100 radio. This one is $640 right now when it's not on sale. I've seen them for $575, $580. And I mean, you know, and this guy's like $3,700. Okay, you got a lot more with this simultaneous dual receive, 200 watts, and the oven controlled oscillator. But you know, that oven controlled oscillator holds this thing to 0.05 parts per million accuracy. So when you see things like 010 there, well, I check it with WWV from time to time, and there's a menu adjustment, and I shot a video about that. To you know, micro tune, if you will, not meaning the mu tuner, but you know, to fine adjust your reference oscillator. And so when you first turn this radio on, it takes about a minute and a half for that oven controlled oscillator to come to temperature, and you can hear, if you're listening to CW especially, you'll hear the pitch change when it locks in. Now the FT-891 has a temperature controlled oscillator which is accurate to 0.5 parts per million, so it's not going to hold it quite as true. The FTdx5000, for example, and the Kenwood TS990S, those are 0.1 parts per million. Okay, so again, temperature controlled oscillators are not all the same. The one in the FT891 is accurate to 0.5 parts per million. TS990S, FTdx101, 0.1 parts per million. And then the FTdx5000, 0.05 parts per million. So twice as tight even as the 101 and the 990S. So, you know, I let it warm up in the morning and it's dead on frequency all day long for me. So, you know, there's differences. What are you paying for when you pay so much extra for the radio? And that's, you know, it's a lot of the little things that stack up, really. But the low noise floor on this guy just struck me. But like I said, for $1,100 and $640, you just can't beat that. Okay, so let's do some math. This radio is about 6 times the price of that one, and a little over 3 times the price of this one. You know, and look, you can do a whole lot with these guys here for, you know, minimal money compared to that. And let's just put it in perspective. In 1959, a Drake transceiver, I saw an ad on the back of CQ magazine, $599. So here you can get latest technology for $640, and like I said, on sale they'll be under $600. This one is currently on sale with a coupon or rebate, and right now it makes it about $1,000 after you do the rebate. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and again, please subscribe and help out the channel. And thank you, Chuck, for the question. 73 from N4H&H.